And what's weird is, if you go back to Obama's early days, there are some things that say he's from Kenya.
What the Democrat administration has been doing is importing vast numbers of illegals into swing states. You can look at the numbers on the actual government website, meaning you don't take my word for it. You'll just look at the numbers as reported by the government, which is controlled by the Democrats. And what we're seeing is triple-digit increases in the number of illegals in every swing state. In some cases, 700% increase.
Kenya.
So a friend of mine went to vote in Palo Alto because he was like, "Is this for real?" He tried to show his ID, and they reacted like if you show a cross to a vampire. Okay, they're like, "No, we can't even look at that ID." It is illegal for them to even look at your ID if you want to present it in California.
Hello guys, welcome back. Joe Rogan has a great podcast with Elon Musk and they talk about election 2024 and Republican parties, Democratic parties, and why Elon Musk is supporting Trump, and many of the more questions about swing states and illegals. So we have key points on election and swing states. Why Elon Musk want president from all Republican parties. So let's start the Joe Rogan podcast and reveal these hidden things. Let's start.
The Joe Rogan experience.
And
Okay.
it's meant to be that you're roasting the president. Like, Trump's just there. He's like actually, he's like there as part of the support. And then they turned it around and just started roasting Trump. And he's just sitting there. He's like, yo, I just came to the dinner. I'm just here to support.
We know what it was because of.
Other political leaders also roasted the Trump, like Kamala also roasted Trump and Obama. So Elon is supporter of Trump and he's supporting his in campaigns, financially, and many more. So what Elon think about, and Joe Rogan have many questions about it. So let's start.
Right? The birther stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what it all was. It was all, Trump was at the head of a lot of these people spreading this rumor online that Obama's birth certificate was forged, then he's actually from
That's I think we
Kenya. And what's weird is, if you go back to Obama's early days, there are some things that say he's from Kenya. Like, I think in his something from college said he was from Kenya. But, that could just be, people print things wrong all the time. It doesn't mean he's actually from Kenya. But Trump was one of those guys that was, like, spreading that supposedly false rumor.
Was he pushing it hard? This is the kind of thing where...
interesting question that Trump is spreading rumor about the Obama, that he's black, he's Kenyan, and what Elon Musk think that very interesting questions of the Rogan. So what Elon Musk think about it? Okay, listen.
Where I want to just go and look at saying what did he actually say?
No, he definitely was.
Okay.
He was definitely saying, look, I don't think he has the time to go into things like very deeply.
Yeah.
And so I think he could probably be influenced by a bunch of people, like these Marjorie Taylor Greene type people who come to him with some wild ass theory.
Sure.
He might be, and I think there's a lot of that stuff that gets fed to people on purpose so that they'll say incorrect things so that they're easy to dismiss.
Sure.
And I think there's also a lot of people that just make shit up and, they tell you the earth is flat, and then a bunch of people watch a YouTube video and they believe it.
Yeah, well, but on that White House Correspondents' Dinner, I was there, and the degree to which they attacked Trump at that White House Correspondents' Dinner was really, it was so over the top. It was like making everyone uncomfortable.
Really?
It was really over the top. I think it's like sort of a passing joke of like, a few passing jokes are fine, but they twisted the knife big on Trump in that, and you could see Trump just getting like angrier and angrier and more upset.
I wonder if
it's like, man, this is not good karma, That's what I was thinking at the time. I was two tables away from Trump, and I'm looking, I'm like, man, this is too much,
Well, it's kind of crazy what they made out of that, because that's the kind of guy that if you tell him he can't do something, he's going to just keep trying. Like what?
Actually, actually, Alan is thinking that Trump is a man that is very strong, and he's like to be president, because after attacked, Trump don't become more upset and other things. So that's what the Alan have purpose behind the Trump. Okay.
Big mistake to rag on him so much at that White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Well, just look at the way they've attacked him with just using the legal system, like this thing in New York where the 34 different felony counts that were essentially misdemeanors, that there are bookkeeping errors that they decided, even though it passed the statute of limitations, they decided to try him for these. They didn't identify a felony.
Abuse of the law is what's going on.
But most people would have quit. Yeah. Most people, after the E. Jean Carroll lawsuit and this lawsuit and all the other ones, the insurrection thing, the Georgia thing, all these different things, they getting kicked off of Twitter, most people would have just like, this is too much. I can't take this. But he's crazy. He's like, all right, come on, we're going to war. And he just digs and heels in and keeps going.
Yeah.
It's the wrong guy to do that to.
It is the wrong guy to do that to.
Attacking him at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, most people would have been humiliated. He got angry. And he's like, yeah, all right. You say I can't be president? I've been thinking about running for about 15 years.
Right.
Finally, I'm going to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a real bad move. But yeah, I mean, I can certainly understand like making some jokes about like, you know, a few sort of passing jokes on Trump. But man, I was there at that dinner and that they ragged on Trump so much it was insane.
Alan says that if you are passing joke, Trump is a very insane.
The reason why I would push back on that, because I would say there's a bunch of different speakers, right? And Trump would obviously be a target. And if they all attacked him, it's because he's like, if you're going to make fun of people.
You know, when the other party leaders speak, like the Democrats leader speaks, they also target the Trump. It is obviously politicians always target one another.
In the audience, and especially in the zeitgeist, that whole birther thing was big.
Yeah.
And most people were dismissing it as being a ridiculous conspiracy theory. So who the fuck is this guy saying this?
Sure.
And so you have 8 to 10 individual speakers that are writing monologues. Of course, they're all going to hit Trump.
You can't stop to the writers and the speakers that always, because you are on a big post. When you are the participants of the US president, you also face the opposite post, like people also write against you, and people also write in favor of you, people also speak against you, people also speaks in favor of you, many reasons. So what's the Alan think about it? We see.
Yeah, well, anyway, obviously it was a mistake. They shouldn't have done that. And but like I like invite people to watch the original source material, and I think a few jokes are fine. You know, it's like, but it's like he shouldn't be it felt like he was the primary object of the roast. Yeah, which is that's not the whole point of the thing. Is it's the roast of the president, not a roast of the audience.
The thing about it is like he's easy to roast. Yeah, and then on top of that, Obama was like loved and cherished by the left. Yes. And most of those people are on the left. There's only so far you can push. You know, you can't ask him about a chef. You know, there's like certain what happened with the chef, bro? Yeah. You can't. There's like certain things you can't bring up.
You want to? What's your favorite sport? Paddleboarding?
Yeah. Wasn't that guy a really good swimmer?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
You can't bring that up. Like if you're going to roast Hillary, you can't bring up the death count.
Like Hillary, what's the best way to stay in touch? Email?
Here is Hillary. Why can you roast Hillary? So but the answer of the Musk is.
Yeah, it's if you're doing one of those.
She destroyed the servers and poured like bleach on the servers, like computers.
She poured bleach on them.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I believe. That's
wow.
Like it wasn't just like they took a hammer to it. They like destroyed. There was no possible way to actually get forensics on the thing.
What was in there? I mean,
that's what I mean.
What was in there? What was in there?
Why would they care so much?
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
The whole thing
And
is
there was
crazy.
no legal action against that, which was clear destruction of evidence.
Well, it's also, there's this other narrative that always drives me crazy, is that he's going to destroy democracy. So in order to destroy democracy, we have to install a president without a primary.
Right.
We have to have a candidate.
No, actually, they become on the points that why they don't want two people of Democrats in Parliament are on the president seat. Okay.
That is the least liked vice president of all time, the least popular vice president of all time, and then use gaslighting and the full force of the media machine to turn her into the future and hope.
Right.
And then she's gonna be changed, even though she's just sitting.
They're talking about Kamala Harris because he's the most favorable and the most long-lasting vice president.
Vice president. And then on top of that, this idea of change when the Democrats have been in control for what, 12 of 16 years?
Right.
Which is crazy. Like, this is the change.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I view this election as a turning point, like a fork in the road of destiny that is incredibly important. I've not been politically active until this election, and the reason.
Oh, in most of the Musk saying that he's not politically active in the election 2024. And he's also telling the
not been politically active this election is because I think if we don't elect Trump, I think we will lose we will lose democracy in this country. We will lose the two-party system, and let me explain why. So there's only like six or seven swing states.
Actually, Ellen is supporting to the Trump because they want that also have a competition in our elections. If the Republican leaders don't run campaigns or left, so the one party rule on the country, and that is not good for country. Okay.
The margin of victory in those states is small, often like 10 or 20,000 votes.
Now he's also talking about swing states that are 6 or 7 in number. These states also decide about the future of the United States, about the future of the states, because here voters are not clear. Some of immigration issue and illegals also found in these states. And what the Elon Musk says, we listen.
What the Democrat administration has been doing is importing vast numbers of illegals into swing states. You can look at the numbers on the actual government website, meaning you don't take my word for it. You'll just look at the numbers as reported by the government, which is controlled by the Democrats. And what we're seeing is triple-digit increases in the number of illegals in every swing state. In some cases, 700% increases.
700% of illegals in swing states. Okay.
These are gigantic numbers. So if you have a state that
the states which have a large number of illegals that are not good for any political
has
parties.
a 10 or 20,000 vote margin, and you put 200,000 illegals into that state, you 10x you swamp the. It's not a swing state anymore. It's going to vote blue, and then once the swing states vote blue, there is no election anymore. There's only a Democrat primary.
If these states vote in the blue, because there are no elections in the country, there will be one party rule, and the purpose of election become finished.
Which is so crazy. And it's so crazy that people are fine with that.
Well, I guess people on the left will be fine with that because they think that's a good idea.
They just want to win. They just want to win.
Correct. Like the thing is, one does not need actually any ground conspiracy theory for this. You just have to look at the simple matter of incentives. If the Democrat Party wants to win, like basically achieve permanent victory, all they need to do is turn the swing states, turn the swing states blue. They have permanent victory, and then we're a one-party state, and then they will keep doing that. Obviously, they will keep stacking the deck.
If you turn the swing states toward the Democrats. There is the victory also, one party rule in country.
By bringing in vast numbers of illegals into the swing states, keep stacking it so that the next election, each successive election, will be worse than the last one. And that's what's happening. And if you want to see, like, well, is this actually going to happen? Well, look at California. California is supermajority Dem, 70% Dem. A month ago, they passed a law.
California is the majority of the people support to the Democrats, and 70% people support the Democrats. So he is also blue state.
Making it illegal to show ID in any election in California. So a friend of mine went to vote in Palo Alto because he was like, "Is this for real?" He tried to show his ID, and they reacted like if you show a cross to a vampire. Okay, they're like, "No, we can't even look at that ID." It is illegal for them to even look at your ID if you want to present it in California.
Why?
For any election at all, even like city council.
What logical reason other than to cheat would you ever have that law?
The reason is to cheat.
But the only
people also cheat. The political cheat. So because when the friend of Musk go to the poll and he show his ID, that was not supporting to the Democratic parties, the reaction was from the electoral. So sad. So it is cheating. Okay.
only like you can never make an argument any other way. And I think 84% of people polled believe that you should show ID to vote. So it's against the will of the people.
Yes, and we are extremely rare. We're an outlier in not requiring ID. Basically, almost every country on earth requires ID to vote. So as soon as you ban ID for voting, it makes fraud impossible to prove. Because how do you trace the fraud?
Right. Yeah, it's insane.
In the first 8 months of the school games, we've been able to help 11 other entrepreneurs to win and travel to Las Vegas as well.
It's insane.
It's insane.
And what I'm saying is that...
How is it legal?
What I'm saying is, like, this election is the last chance to preserve democracy in America. Mark my words.
This is the last chance to prevent the democracy in America. If this election Trump win, they will also all people secure according to the Elon Musk. If Trump lose, the one party rules are we can say the rule of the where no decisions can make, and they always rule on the great United States of America.
Everything they accuse Trump of, they are guilty of. And if Trump doesn't win, this will be the last real election in America. And we will, if the big government Kamala puppet machine wins, they will legalize the illegals in the swing states. There will be no swing states. Every election going forward will be a guaranteed Democrat win, and it'll actually be worse than California.
This is the reason. If Trump win, that there is the real elections, and if the Democratic will win, then they make the swing states Democrats. So then always Democratic leader win in the swing states.
The reason it'll be worse than California is because the one thing that keeps California from being super crazy is that you can move out of California, like you and I did. You and I used to be in California, but we moved to Texas. We're still in America. But if the Dems win this election, they will legalize enough illegals to turn the swing states, and everywhere will be like California. There will be no escape.
That is so insane.
This is the final...
Very insane, very insane, very insane. If these become true, there will be no other... there will be no place of the other political parties in USA elections. Okay.
This is it. This is the last chance.
Has anybody tried to push back?
And I just want to, go out and vote. vote like your life depends on it, vote like your future depends on it, because it does. This is the last chance, man.
Is there any argument against this? Has anybody tried to debate this? Has anybody tried to say that this is nonsense, this is a conspiracy? Has anybody made any sort of a rational argument?
The left actually, interestingly, does not want to pick up much on this argument because the more attention the more you look at it, the more obviously it is true. Because you just say like, well, are the numbers correct? Are there really this many illegals that have been imported into swing states? Yes. They haven't just walked across the border. They've been flown in airplanes.
Yeah. Using a shipping app.
Yes.
Yeah.
They made an app.
Well, the app always existed, but it used to be for people coming over here, like shipping with goods, so they could track you while you're in America, so you could legally be here, they know where you are. And then they changed it to allow that app to schedule illegal aliens to come across the border.
Yes.
Asylum seekers.
Yes.
Come on in.
Yes.
Oh, you have an app. And you fly people in.
They're literally being flown in to the swing states. And so the reason that I think the left doesn't want to push back on this is because the more attention that this gets, the more people will realize it is true.
Yeah, it is true.
That's why they don't. That's why they're just pretending that they're pretending. I'm not saying anything, but I'm like, yo, they're literally flying vast numbers of illegals who are then beholden to the Democrats. And sometimes I get the rebuttal of,
You know, in swing states, the main problem are illegals. So they want to build an app that count the illegals and trace them. So what the Elon reveal other things? Please
so people
listen.
say like, well, you know, these illegals they don't have the same social values as the Democrat Party because they're like more socially conservative. I'm like, yeah, but that's not the point. If you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, their primary thing is staying in the country and getting their friends and family in, and then the Democrats give them all these benefits, like tons of benefits, more benefits than than citizens, literally.
Yeah.
They're beholden to the Democrats for all these benefits. They want to get their friends and family in, which the Democrats support and the Republicans don't, so they vote Dem. And you can look empirically at California and say, like, did they vote Republican or Democrat in California? Oh, they voted Democrat. Big time.
Well, Reagan gave them amnesty in the 1980s, and that
86.
changed the state basically, except for Arnold, changed the state entirely blue.
Yes.
And Arnold was an exception because he was like a socially liberal, famous guy.
Yeah.
And, didn't really impose any radical restrictions on any of the people that were going to vote Democrat in the first place. The whole thing is just, it's bizarre to watch play out because it just seems like this can't be actually what's happening. Did you see my conversation with Fetterman about it?
Yeah.
He was completely in denial about it. I don't think there's that level of organization. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. Just because you can break it down. So like, are any of these numbers wrong? Because we got these numbers from Homeland Security government.gov. Okay.
Right.
So we got it from the .gov website. Has the government reported these numbers incorrectly? No, they have not. Those numbers, if anything, are low. So they have in fact flown vast numbers of illegals to swing states.
Yeah.
Bypassing the border entirely. And so that is factually true. Then you can say like, well, what is their probable voting pattern? Overwhelmingly Democrat into swing states. And then, well, but do the Democrats actually want to fast track them for citizenship?
Actually, here maybe we also issue that Democrats push the people of illegal in swing states to win the elections, and they also give them citizenship and make the rules easy because they want to win the election. Okay.
Yes, they do. You can see Chuck Schumer on TV saying at a rally this year was saying he wants to fast track and make all 11 million or however many, I believe his quote was, citizens as soon as possible.
So guys, these was the main points of the podcast. of Joe Rogan. I hope you like it. Goodbye for the next.